In naval warfare, few engagements resonate with the audacity and sacrificial bravery of men facing impossible odds, quite like the Battle of Samar. On October 25, 1944, off Samar in the Philippine Sea, a vastly outmatched American task group of small escort carriers and 3 destroyer escorts stood firm against the overwhelming might of the Imperial Japanese Navy's most powerful battleships and cruisers. This clash defied tactical logic, a David and Goliath confrontation that forever altered the course of the Pacific War and became known as the last stand of the tin can sailors. The stage for Samar was set within the colossal Battle of Leyte Gulf, the largest naval engagement in history. In 1944, Allied forces began the pivotal invasion of Leyte. To safeguard the landing fleet, Admiral William Bull Halsey's Third Fleet was tasked with destroying the main Japanese fleet. Japan, however, launched a cunning plan. A decoy force would lure Halsey north. Simultaneously, Vice Admiral Takeo Kurita's formidable center force would advance through the San Bernardino Strait to annihilate the American invasion fleet. American forces guarding Leyte's eastern approaches included Admiral Kinkaid's Seventh Fleet, with 3 small task groups of escort carriers and their screens, known as Taffy 1, Taffy 2, and Taffy 3. Taffy 3, positioned furthest north, consisted of 6 escort carriers and 3 destroyers, USS Johnston, Hoel, and Heermann, plus 4 smaller destroyer escorts, including USS Samuel B. Roberts. Their role was anti-submarine patrol and air support, never anticipating a surface engagement with battleships. This Japanese deception, working flawlessly, left Taffy 3 in extreme peril, directly in the path of Kurita's juggernaut. As Halsey's Third Fleet steamed north, Vice Admiral Takeo Kurita's center force successfully transited the San Bernardino Strait. This armada represented the core of the Imperial Japanese Navy's remaining capital ship strength. 4 battleships, including the colossal Yamato and Nagato, Yamato's sister Musashi having been sunk prior, 8 heavy cruisers, 2 light cruisers, and 11 destroyers. The Yamato, with its 9 18.1-inch guns, could unleash devastating salvos over 20 miles. Kurita's mission: penetrate Leyte Gulf and obliterate the American invasion fleet. He expected American battleships, but believed the main fleet was elsewhere. The immense disparity in power between Kurita's battleships and Taffy 3's fragile jeep carriers and tin cans set the stage for a desperate, heroic stand against overwhelming odds. The morning of October 25th began deceptively calm. For the men of Taffy 3, commanded by Rear Admiral Clifton Sprague, it was routine patrol. Around 0645, a pilot from the USS White Plains radioed an alarming report. Battleships and cruisers. Sprague's staff initially dismissed it as a scouting party, but as the range closed, the terrifying truth emerged from the morning mist. Distinct pagoda masts of Japanese heavy cruisers, followed by towering battleship superstructures, confirmed their worst fears. It was Kurita's entire center force, steaming directly towards them. The realization hit Taffy 3 with stark finality. They were staring down the barrels of the most powerful fleet in the world. No time for reinforcements, no escape. The Leyte invasion beaches lay exposed behind them. They had to fight. With the colossal Japanese fleet rapidly closing, Admiral Sprague faced an agonizing decision. His lightly armored escort carriers were defenseless. His destroyers, mere tin cans, were about to confront heavy cruisers and battleships head-on. Retreat was impossible. The carriers couldn't outrun Kurita's ships, and a dash for Leyte Gulf would doom the invasion transports. Sprague's primary directive was to protect the Leyte landings. He knew Kurita's force reaching the beaches would be a catastrophe. In that desperate moment, Sprague issued the defining order. Small boys make smoke, planes attack. He instructed his escort carriers to turn east and launch every available aircraft. More critically, he ordered his 3 destroyers, USS Johnston, Hoel, and Heermann, and 4 destroyer escorts to make a suicidal torpedo attack. Their mission: delay, confuse, and buy precious minutes for the carriers. This was a conscious decision to sacrifice his screening ships, an unprecedented act of audacity, yet the only option. It was a desperate gamble hinging entirely on the courage of his tin can sailors. The order given, the destroyers of Taffy 3, led by Commander Ernest E. Evans aboard the USS Johnston, did not hesitate. The Johnston charged directly towards oncoming Japanese heavy cruisers under intense fire. Evans launched torpedoes at the heavy cruiser Kumano, scoring a direct hit that blew off her bow, forcing her out of the battle. The Johnston, with its 5-inch guns, engaged multiple heavy cruisers, scoring hits. But the fight was unsustainable. Targeted by battleships and cruisers, the Johnston took shell after shell. Its bridge destroyed, engines crippled, it was pounded into a wreck. Commander Evans, despite severe injuries, directed the fight until his ship was overwhelmed and sank. The USS Hoel, under Commander Leon S. Kintberger, followed, launching torpedoes, then engaging in a suicidal gun duel with Yamato and Congo. Its brave charge disrupted the Japanese formation, drawing immense fire. The Hoel was pummeled, suffering devastating hits before it capsized. The USS Heermann, commanded by Commander Amos T. Hathaway, made an equally audacious charge, even engaging the Yamato at close range. It narrowly avoided a collision, then turned to other cruisers, laying smoke and fighting ferociously. Miraculously, the Heermann survived, though severely damaged. The USS Samuel B. Roberts, a destroyer escort, also displayed incredible valor, engaging the heavy cruiser Chokai with its 5-inch guns, scoring hits and launching torpedoes. It was ultimately overwhelmed and sank, its captain famously stating it was fighting a battle it was never designed for. These tin cans, never intended for such a confrontation, fought with a valor that transcended their size, buying crucial time with their lives and their ships. While the destroyers bravely sacrificed, the escort carriers of Taffy 3 fought for survival. Under Admiral Sprague's orders, they launched every aircraft, regardless of armament. Pilots scrambled into their F-4F Wildcats and TBF Avengers, many armed only with depth charges or unprimed ordnance. They improvised, dropping anything to harass the enemy, and made dummy runs to draw anti-aircraft fire, creating the illusion of a more potent air threat. Simultaneously, the carriers executed aggressive, evasive maneuvers, steering erratically to evade Japanese gunners. The USS White Plains and Kalinin Bay took several direct hits. The USS Gambier Bay, the slowest, was relentlessly pursued by Japanese heavy cruisers and eventually succumbed to overwhelming firepower, becoming the only U.S. aircraft carrier sunk by surface gunfire in the Pacific War. Returning pilots, finding their carriers under fire, often had to land on other ships or ditch. The collective action of the carriers, their planes, and crucial smoke screens created an atmosphere of chaos and uncertainty for the Japanese, blurring the battlefield and denying Kurita a clear picture of American forces. This confusion, combined with the destroyer's bravery, proved pivotal. Vice Admiral Kurita, commanding the Yamato, found himself in a bewildering situation. Intelligence suggested Halsey's powerful Third Fleet was far north. Yet he was confronted by what appeared to be a furious, well-coordinated attack involving numerous ships and relentless air assaults. He misinterpreted the small escort carriers as large fleet carriers, and aggressive destroyers with their smokescreens led him to believe he was engaging a much larger, more powerful American task force. The sheer ferocity of Taffy 3's resistance, numerous torpedo attacks, consistent airstrikes, and thick smoke created profound confusion and alarm. Reports of his ships taking damage and his battle formation scattered compounded his uncertainty. He was within striking distance of the Leyte invasion fleet, but feared falling into a trap with powerful American battleships and carriers. After several hours of chaotic fighting, Kurita made the fateful decision. At 0920, he abruptly ordered his fleet to break off and head north, then west, abandoning his objective to destroy the Leyte invasion forces. It was a controversial decision, born of misidentification, misunderstanding, and the sheer audacity of Taffy 3. The impossible had happened. A small, outgunned American force had bluffed and fought a superior enemy into retreat, saving the Leyte landings. The Battle of Samar was a tactical defeat for Taffy 3, resulting in the loss of 1 escort carrier, 2 destroyers, and 1 destroyer escort, along with hundreds of lives. Yet, strategically, it was a monumental triumph born of incredible sacrifice. The tin can sailors, facing overwhelming odds, never faltered. Their collective courage, willingness to charge against impossible firepower, and unwavering determination bought crucial time and sowed enough doubt in Admiral Kurita's mind to save the Leyte landings. Had Kurita's fleet reached Leyte Gulf, the vulnerable transports and landing craft would have been annihilated, potentially changing the entire trajectory of the war in the Pacific. The men of the USS Johnston, Hoel, and Samuel B. Roberts, and the escort carriers they screened, demonstrated a level of bravery and selflessness that continues to inspire. Their actions serve as a powerful reminder that even in the face of insurmountable odds, the human spirit, when fueled by duty and camaraderie, can achieve the seemingly impossible. The last stand of the tin can. Sailors is more than just a chapter in naval history. It is an enduring legend, a testament to the fact that courage, determination, and a refusal to yield can, sometimes, defeat even the most overwhelming force.